now recognize Mr. Rulli for 5 minutes, the representative from Ohio.
Thank you so much, Chairman. I appreciate that. Mr. Chism, I think everyone's a little nervous about AI, just in general, but also optimistic for what the future could possibly hold. Could you share some of your stories with you about students and this tool and the ability to excel them as a student in America?
Absolutely, I'm happy to do that. It really begins with the teacher, and again, I don't want you to think that I'm saying that we need to teach elementary and middle school students how to use AI. That's not what we're doing. We're really focused on kids that are in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And again, the idea is to teach them to use this, but also to teach them to use this in an ethical way. And in our trainings and the things that we do with teachers in training students, what we talk about are really two things. And that is if you can use this as the perfect assistant and the perfect search engine, you're using it in an ethical way. There's a big difference between having an AI program write for you and an AI program write with you. Those are two completely different things. And what we've seen, especially in the writing, I just gave you that example from that teacher, right? She can now do these things. What I wasn't paying attention to at the time, I was helping her. But what we're now doing, instead of writing a paper every 10 days, we're writing a paper almost every day. So again, and then this opens up other things, in some of our tech classes as well. It gives them new ideas and new ways to take this. And I think that is the power of AI, is the idea that it can give you ideas that you haven't thought of because it's got access to the full internet. So again, there are 1,000 stories that I could share, but that just gives you an overview of the direction that we're going and the way that we're using it. But I will tell you, it starts with the teacher. It starts with administrators and teachers. If they're not on board first, our kids are not going to use it in the right way.
I really appreciate that. And, being a parent and also looking back in my own mind's eye, when you look at a subject like AI, it's a little contradictory in my own mind about the love and the hate and the scariness of it. I think, the idea that could cure cancer with AI and you could have these kids learn in ways they never possibly could. But do you have a little quick piece of advice for mom and dad that maybe are a little bit worried about the guardrails? Some of us were raised, watching the Terminator. And I mean, that's obviously, hopefully not going to ever happen. But do you have anything to calm down mom and dad?
I get that a lot in every presentation I give, is there is a healthy fear, and I think we should have a healthy fear of it. I think for parents, it is the communication piece with their own kid, and it is making sure that they are also teaching good habits to kids with this. I think one of the scary things is, and there are models out there that are completely open that have no guardrails, and I think that's one thing that scares me a little bit. You can actually go to olama.com and you can download any model that you want. Some have the guardrails taken off. If a kid is in the tech world and knows how to do this, that can be a scary proposition for a child. So I think, again, monitoring what your kids do and having good conversations on what good behavior on this looks like is no different than social media or using the internet in general.
I appreciate that also. And finally, probably my most passionate question I have for you. I was on the school board for 8 years, and I worked with students very closely. I was very hands-on approach, especially when I was the president of the school board. But I wanted to take focus on AI, and I want to concentrate on a IEP or a 504 plans are probably my top priority that I've always been in school, and I know a lot of moms out there and dads are worried about this. Can you talk about AI and the potential to help our students with disabilities and how exciting that could be for their future in learning?
Oh my goodness, that's fabulous. My wife is actually a special education director in the district. So I've created several things for our teachers to use. And I think the best part of this is you can take a student's data. And again, this is something we may bring out at some point. We have our own AI server in the district, so we don't have to worry about FERPA laws. Okay, so we could take the students' assessment scores and we can match those to state assessments. And then we can use the power of these AIs to actually script an individual plan for that kid with a path to proficiency. So I think that's the exciting part about this. And literally that is done in 20 or 30 seconds. We upload a couple of PDFs. We tell it what we want it to do. I've already pre-trained this in the background to do what I want it to do. And in the end, it gives that kid a short-term, medium-term, and long-term plans that are developed around that individual child as opposed to just the entire classroom. So again, that's one of the things that excites me the most about this.
And that could probably be even flipped onto like higher ed if you go to the university or whatever, because it's so individualized for that particular student. It could be a growing tool that child grows into adulthood with that, correct?
Yes, sir, 100%. I don't think this stops at K-12. Honestly, I don't think this stops at college. I think we're going to see this moving into the business world. Knowledge is going to be something for everybody now, and I think that's what's changing in the world of AI. You know, we pay doctors lots of money, right? But now everybody's going to have access to this specialized training that they've had for years. So again, I don't think it stops in K-12 and college. I think that rolls right into adulthood as well.
How exciting. Thank you. I yield my time back, Chair.